welcome to Movie Killers, the next part.
Movie Killers.
Of Movie Killers.
Movie Killers.
Movie killers.
Movie Killers.
All right, so speaking of movie killers, oh Jesus Christ, what movie are we doing again?
Hold on, I got this one, guys. It is my favorite movie, Godzilla.
And not the original.
No, not the 1956 movie.
This is from the 1998 with Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick.
Matthew. And actually, I really enjoy this movie. I still like watching it, but it has problems, but it's still fun. You just have to kind of turn off that mind a little bit.
You gotta not picture. When you picture Godzilla, you picture this giant bipedal, just, wrecking destruction ball. You get a giant iguana in this one.
That's what it actually is, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a marine iguana mutated. But no, I mean, and I like the idea of them trying to do that. That's the thing. I did like what they were trying to do, and it's a good summer flick in the sense of, if you look at it too carefully, it's going to fall apart. But for the most part, the movie does try to cover its bases.
This movie fell apart like it was put together with Elmer's.
Oh, it fell apart in the opening credits. Because I know a little more about reptiles than most people, and I looked up to confirm a few things.
All right. Well, speaking of the reptiles, to confirm if you produce asexually.
None.
How many produce 12 or more eggs?
Actually, most of them do.
Okay, so that fact was factual.
The iguanas do actually do about 12 to 30 eggs.
But he's mutated from radiation.
Radiation doesn't change your DNA in that way.
Okay, and that's the thing.
Otherwise, Chernobyl would be populated by a bunch of fucking cyclopses.
All right, here's the problem. This movie is implying that Godzilla is a giant mutated marine iguana. Iguana eggs would have been destroyed in the blast because reptile eggs are softer. Iguanas reproduce sexually, not asexually, and they are herbivores. Now, iguanas can eat meat, but if they eat too much meat, they have kidney problems as well as other health defects. For this movie to work, we have to assume that the eggs are one egg survived the blast. The DNA was altered to the point removing the growth limitation of the body, and the need for a mate, asexual reproduction, and the desire to eat meat instead of vegetation, because iguanas don't have teeth, but this Godzilla did.
So this is a full-on movie killing.
This is the main thing.
Iguanas are
that's all my main
correct? Iguanas are cold-blooded, correct?
Yes, reptiles are cold-blooded.
Which means if they get cold, they slow down and they want to go into hibernation.
Yeah, they don't produce their own heat.
Correct. In the movie, when they're fucking flying around with the goddamn Apache helicopters shooting shit, and they lock on, they shoot the missiles, and the pilot straight up says his body temperature is colder than the buildings around it. That's why they couldn't lock onto it with heat-seeking missiles.
That's kind of a problem right there.
That's what I'm thinking.
You could lock onto him with heat-seeking missiles because he does have body heat.
Yeah, he would have more body heat in the building, especially in the rain.
Than the buildings around him.
Especially because incubating eggs at the time.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, no.
But no, actually that brings me into one of my smaller ones too. Which is, obviously these helicopter pilots learned how to fly from Han fucking Solo, because they don't realize up and down is still a fucking option.
Yeah.
If I'm running from him, I'm not taking left turn, right turn. I'm going straight up.
Go up! That's
All right, now, on top of that one, this one annoyed the shit out of me. When Godzilla took out the last helicopter, you're flying straight forward. You're telling me you don't see him crouch going, gonna get you, gonna get you, gonna get you.
I mean, it's still a fun scene, but yeah. Actually, to go off a little more about the actual biology of the iguanas.
Okay, hold on. Nerd alert.
Yeah, I know. Marine iguanas actually do swim through the ocean. They do go island to island. And they do, the males will dive down and eat algae. So they're still herbivores. They're basically the chickens of the reptile world. If Godzilla, this is a minor plot hole, was mutated to the point of eating meat, at that size, he would have stopped eating schools of fish. He'd be eating larger, like whales.
They needed
sharks.
those omega-6 fatty acids. It's good for development.
But he would not be, his main diet would not have been giant pods of fish.
Yeah.
Because they would have been getting away from him.
Okay, so let's get into some small ones, because Steve didn't bring shit. Okay, first.
I brought a small one.
Now, everybody on that military base, everybody who picked him up to go to that military base, I'm talking about Matthew Broderick here, everyone to go pick him up knew who he was. They knew him by sight and somewhat by name. Kept getting it wrong. Except for the person explicitly described as his boss. For some reason, she didn't get the dossier with the picture on the front.
Yeah, because she was all like...
Who's he? He's your worm guy.
Yeah.
I didn't even pick up on that one.
Yeah, we know because she didn't have anything, remember?
I thought this is a sound
movie.
Okay,
now, Let's go on to my. You want to go on to one, Blake? I got a lot here.
This is a minor little kind of a picking point. You remember the part? No, I'm sorry. The many parts where the mayor was up the colonel's ass about the city and stuff.
Yeah.
He would have been removed from that site
heartbeat.
immediately. Going, you're gone. No,
Nope.
military's taking over. Leave.
Nope, not how it works.
Well, the
Maybe
governor was
lucky
there.
fat
The
guy
mayor,
in the front.
the mayor of New York would have been present at all times because he is the elected government official for the city, county of New York.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way that the mayor in Ghostbusters never had to leave, the mayor does not leave in a time of crisis. Rudolph Giuliani did not leave during 9/11.
That's true. Yep.
He had to be on scene to make sure that civilian rights were not being infringed by any military group present at the time.
Oh, no
That is
shit.
a fact in any crisis.
And
Facts.
This is also a reflection of the movie's time period.
But at any time, the military could have just said, shut the fuck up.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also the clutch politician who cares more about his reputation than the actual problem.
They're
No,
voters.
no
They're
one's-
voters.
Oh yeah, we gotta let him back in now. He's gone.
Okay, so
But you don't know for
that
sure.
that's just fact right there. That a like in a time of crisis, even if the National Guard's called in, an elected government official is going to be present at any time.
Well, I mean, the
and
governor was
highest
there
one they can
too,
find.
so I assume that the way he was acting, they could have removed him with the governor being present. But I don't know. It was more or less, if I was in charge, like, you go sit over there. You
boys
go sit
talking.
over there. Where the big boys are talking. Go sit over there.
Okay, so here's a stupid one that
Okay.
I just think's a stupid plot hole for me.
Yeah.
Okay, Jamaica was colonized by England. We all know this, right?
Actually,
That's
yeah.
why Jamaica's language is English. You know what else they brought over when they controlled Jamaica? Roadways and driving. That Jeep was left-hand drive in an English-controlled area. It should have been right-side drive and on the other side of the road. When Matthew Broderick, the boss, and the other guy are being driven by the Jamaican guy that clearly after they said they were in Panama.
Yeah, they kind of, I think they did mix some stuff up. They were implying Panama, but
There's
that's
a
actually
scene
Jamaica. Because Godzilla does go from the French Polynesia
Yeah.
Islands through
Panama.
Jamaica, then eventually New York City.
Yeah.
Which hell of a fucking roundabout, I'll tell you.
Go to
Fuck
Miami.
Florida. Skip Florida. No,
Yeah.
fuck Florida.
Yeah, actually, that was my other major plot. If you ignore if you say, okay, well, the radiation mutated the iguana to the point of all this would work, why would it go all the way through the landmass to New York City? Japan would have been the obvious route to go. Because, island to island. Not island, mainland. Oh, more water. Go up the coast. Oh, I'm in New York City now.
Yeah.
So,
Especially considering the fact that this Godzilla is deemed with intelligence in so many ways.
it has enough intelligence. to
There's
know
enough
both.
intelligence backed up to the point where it knows to dodge bullets.
Yeah, well, it understood. That's pain.
No.
Dodge that.
This thing's never been shot before.
Well, it was that earlier in the movie, and they realized, oh, bad. Like in the first
but to
trap.
the point where it just dumped.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh,
that-
there's 2 missiles coming at me?
No, I mean, after the
or
first...
the fact that
yeah.
it knew how to outmaneuver trained military helicopters.
Yeah. No, the New York City was, like, probably the worst location to pick. Though, neat fact about the iguanas, they actually do burrow to lay eggs. I didn't know that. So I was like, oh, that actually made
And now
sense.
you know.
I mean, iguanas do actually burrow.
Half the
The females will burrow to lay their eggs. So him actually digging through, or her digging through the city, eventually picking Madison Square Garden for, I guess, fun, makes some sense. Though I would think with all that burrowing, the city would have been completely wrecked and destroyed. But
The city was supposed to be, but that Chrysler building got rebuilt, and the MetLife building got rebuilt real quick by the end of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you see the whole of the city, you can see the Chrysler building, and you can see the MetLife building 100% intact.
and speaking of the whole egg thing, I call bullshit because no one can read a pregnancy test that quickly. Everyone at least checks the box twice.
Whoa. All I'm going to say is that doctor did not know how a pregnancy test worked. That was not set up for a cold-blooded lizard. That was set up for a warm-blooded
Mammal.
Well, he did actually
Homo
ask
sapien.
for tests that specifically look for certain levels in the blood.
And I am sure that, and this is another one of mine, I am sure that that pharmacist in that evacuation zone was perfectly adept at handling that.
I
yeah.
thought they were out of the
No, no.
They,
Yeah,
they
no,
were in Jersey at that point, weren't they?
Yeah.
No,
No,
that was
wasn't-
right outside of the city. You could see the military lines up.
Yes, it was right outside the city. It wasn't in the city, so I guess she wasn't evacuated yet. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Well, maybe she
I
didn't stay
agree.
open in case the
I
army guys
agree.
needed something.
It was questionable. Yeah, it was definitely reaching. It's also, and something I noticed about that scene too is, it was like really quickly Nick assuming that Godzilla was pregnant.
That's true. I blanked out for a second. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Nick went and got the pregnancy test
Yes.
before
Yeah.
acknowledging in the movie.
5
Going, I
pregnancy
had a
tests,
suspicion that Godzilla might be trying to nest. He said that after the fact. It was like, oh, I'm gonna go with this. They didn't do the proper build up, so it seemed really out of place or improperly paced in my opinion.
Okay.
I mean, it's minor. It doesn't kill it. But it's
Here's
just
a minor one that it's not a movie killer, but it's really annoying as well.
Mhm.
Because I'm saving my movie killers. The MetLife building destroyed. Did you see every other building in that box that was lower than that building, just right at the height of the middle of the hole? And you're telling me they didn't see what made that hole? Not one person saw what? This happened on a Sunday, and New York decided, fuck it, even the businesses are going to be closed? Those
Yeah.
weren't apartment buildings.
And
I'll
also-
give you that.
And
but-
also, Godzilla's initial approach, a lot of people would have seen Godzilla.
But
Yeah.
obviously, that was right outside of where the mayor was having
You're-
his fucking.
I got a little one that's annoying. I got two.
Okay.
I got two annoying ones.
Oh, he figured something out.
So the old guy when he's fishing and
Yeah.
Godzilla just happened to bite onto that one little line that he had fucking 150
I thought it
yards
hooked
out.
on him, but I agree. Yeah,
He
no way
outran
cast that far.
Godzilla on that old ass man. You see how he waddled his way up to the
All right.
end.
To be
You know what my problem with that was? You guys ever been fishing?
Yeah.
You ever have a reel that just zooms itself back in? No. Why was he not grabbing to try to reel it in when he thought he had a big fish? If you're tiring out, you at least lock it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Well,
wouldn't even
this is
try.
what
He's
I
just
know.
like, oh shit, it's a big one. It's still pulling. Should I stop it?
Yeah.
It's a fish. Should I let it get away?
You kind of go into Godzilla's speed, which is a minor.
Oh, they
plot
do.
hole that I was
They
noticing.
do. I have it here.
Yeah, animals. As you get bigger, and the movie Ant-Man shows this.
It's part
or
of one of my
you
big
move
ones,
slower.
dude.
You move slower because you can only go so fast. Hence why an elephant's not faster than a cheetah. Godzilla would not be able to go as fast as it did in a lot of those scenes. In the water, sure.
I always attribute the fact that his large gait allowed him to cover a lot of ground. He may not have been moving his speed, but because of the fact that his gait was so large, he was able to cover that kind of speed.
Yeah, no. Later on, they stopped doing it, but initial run through the city, he was going a little
Well, I mean,
too
look
fast.
at the T-Rex. We clocked the T-Rex at 32 miles an hour.
Yeah, but
quote
this
Mr.
thing's
Hammond.
a lot bigger
Yeah,
than
no,
a
this
T-Rex.
I agree with that, but something that
This is-
big.
this is a
T-Rex
gaijin.
fucking 40 feet
No,
tall.
this is like a.
Well, it's modified by by nuclear whatever.
Yeah.
Steve
No, how about this? In the beginning, when Godzilla comes down
created
and,
the Earth.
No,
I knew
yes.
it. I knew it. You're a Godzilla.
When Matthew Broderick takes a picture and he's right next to his eye,
Yeah.
later on at the end of the movie, when he's dying and his
Yeah.
eyes are in it got bigger.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's implying that its growth limit was actually not there.
Oh, so it's
Well,
still growing.
no,
And that's the thing.
Actually, I'm working off of the idea that an animal only goes as large as its habitat.
Yeah.
The island it was on beforehand was much smaller than the island of New York,
And then when it became more aquatic, it could just.
and then
keep
more
getting-
access to food because it's being given it for free.
Yeah.
Let's feed it.
But yeah.
Let's not.
But that's why in the ocean there's such large creatures, because there's plenty of room and the water supports your weight. So
Yeah.
Godzilla, if it became a purely aquatic reptilian lizard like that, it could get that size.
Okay.
But getting out of
Okay.
the water might have some difficulties.
Now this one might actually be the movie killer. This one might destroy this entire
Well, I
movie.
think I've already done that, but yeah.
Oh,
ahead.
maybe. But this one destroys the whole movie.
All right.
Remember when Matthew Broderick's checking out the fishing boat?
Yes.
Why was there canned tuna on it? It's a fishing boat. You can get fresh tuna.
That was kind of weird. They can their own stuff.
You sure they don't can their own stuff on the boat?
I'm pretty sure they don't can it on the boat because it was made by several different companies.
Yeah, there was Bumblebee in there. There was a
Telling
couple
you,
other ones.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was. That
Bumblebee
was a
tuna.
little-
Bumblebee tuna.
Your balls are showing.
Actually, there was another minor one that kind of bugged me a bit. Hey, before it's revealed that his ex-girlfriend took the top secret tape, and he was coming in to tell him, hey, this thing's nesting, it's pregnant, the general who was there now decided, he's our expert. We brought him here forcefully. He's been right on everything. He's the reason we even had a shot at the thing the first time, but I'm going to doubt everything you're saying.
Okay.
Even the Colonel's like, but Nick's been right. Nick's our man. Stop, please. We need him. Don't know, and they still just.
Okay, so I've got 2 minor ones.
Yeah.
And the 3 minor ones, and the rest are kind of big ones. So here comes a minor one.
Okay.
Because it's annoying. There is no Carl's Jr. in New York City. They are Hardee's. If you look around at the ads on the billboard, there is a Carl's Jr. ad.
Oh, shit.
They don't have Carl's Jr. in New York. They have Hardee's.
Yeah, I didn't notice that one out of all the product placement. I know Sony, Sprint,
Pepsi.
yeah. Sony was everywhere.
Kodak.
Kodak, yeah.
Kodak, yeah.
Was Taco Bell on there too? Yeah.
He says as he drank a nondescript soda from a Tex-Mex fast food restaurant.
Quesadillas, bro. They're so good. Yo, get a Taco Bell. Yo,
Okay.
those commercials
Do you have any
were
more
the
small
shit.
ones?
I do have another small one.
Go on with the small one.
You want a small one?
This is this is one of I consider the most annoying plot holes I see in movies.
Ooh, this is
And,
gonna be good.
the elevator.
Damn it, that's a big one for me.
No, it's just minor. When he's getting attacked, he gets in the elevator and he's like, shut, and it puts its head in and it stops
Should
shutting.
have opened the entire elevator.
It would have reopened
Safety
and reset the whole thing. It wouldn't be like, oh, you moved it, now I'll close. So many movies do that, and it's like, no, it never works that way at all.
Having actually been to Madison Square Garden, I don't remember using an elevator.
Oh, there were no
And
elevators
if there,
in there?
I don't remember using one. I never said there wasn't
okay.
one.
I mean, there
Could have been a service accident. Could have been, but
Every
I'm
single elevator
99% sure they've kept up on their safety updates. And if you had stuck your dick
When somebody
in the
says-
goddamn elevator, it would have opened the door.
When
Yeah.
somebody says, "Hey, hold that elevator," what does somebody do?
You hit
They-
the close button.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nick would have been dead, basically.
Yeah.
It would have reopened. They would have just swarmed him.
Or it would have shut completely on it
Yeah.
because the safety mechanism wasn't working, and it would have crushed that thing,
Yeah.
Godzilla, killing that one baby.
If it had enough pressure
meaning
behind it, yeah.
plot killer. That's why I thought plot killer.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I see it in so many movies, and I
Okay.
hate it. But
Here's a stupid one.
yeah.
Here's a really stupid. I don't even call it a plot hole, but it's like, okay, I'm walking with Nick's walking with the military guy, right?
Yeah.
Just strolling along, and then all of a sudden he goes, "Here's your sample." Looks around, and later on he realizes he's standing in the middle of a hole. How did he get into the hole without realizing he was climbing into a hole? They needed a ladder to get out.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know about that particular claw print, but the other ones did show a
No,
slight,
no.
a slight slope because of indentation. Because
You saw it was a complete perfect and needed
That
a
one
ladder
was-
to get out deep.
Then yeah, then
Yeah,
that
because
was
they
the
show an
plot.
aerial view of him
That's
standing
the
in the middle
Jamaica
of it.
one, right?
Yeah,
Or the Panama
Could have been the
City.
Panama one.
Either
I don't know. They were never clear.
there were some that there was.
They say Panama, but everybody in a military.
You're standing. Where?
There
I
were-
don't see it.
Yeah.
Oh,
there
by the
was-
way-
there were some that has slope in,
Yeah.
but that one they did.
By
for
the way, that
dramatic shot.
particular general, why was he wearing 2 ranks? Or that colonel. He was wearing lieutenant colonel on one lapel. And he was wearing colonel, a leaf cluster colonel on the other lapel.
Ooh.
So, and nobody holds 2 ranks in the military.
No,
That's,
no.
that's period.
That's wow.
Yeah, that's just one I noticed, but
Good
I didn't really
catch.
felt. What?
Good catch.
I didn't see it.
No, there's just a lot of the times. The only time you see that guy, you never see that full guy. You just see him tits up. That's
Yeah.
it.
He's the dad from Small Soldiers.
He is the dad from Small Soldiers.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Anyway,
Anyway.
give me a major one, Tom. Come on, let's go.
Okay. In the movie when they're running across the bridge and those cables are snapping, do you know what the cables on a suspension bridge actually do?
Yeah.
Because it's not keep it from swaying left and right or up and down. It's to keep it up in the air. It's a suspension bridge. Right there in the name. So therefore, the second those cables started snapping, motherfuckers dying.
Dropping.
And
Yeah.
into the water, where I assume Godzilla's hunt best.
Has it can move its maximum speed and efficiency.
I don't think a cab's gonna move that same maximum efficiency.
Oh, yeah,
in
no, I
water.
agree, yeah,
Call me
I
crazy.
agree. That was for the much.
I'm not gonna lie. Now,
Yeah.
when most people think of Godzilla, if they don't think about this one, they think of a fire, not fire breathing, maybe radioactive fire or some kind of
Some
plasma
kinda,
breath
yeah.
fire. They somewhat put it in this movie when he turned.
That
this
was
one-
fire breath, motherfucker.
Well, because when he turned around and started roaring at him, the truck blew up, and that's when the flames.
Every
spread
other
out.
Godzilla that ever had a breath weapon, it was light energy.
Yeah.
considered nuclear energy.
Yeah, it was supposed to be some kind
This
of
one, it was straight fire.
Yeah.
You could have roasted a marshmallow in that.
Well,
one.
what they were trying to do with this one, and like I said, this is why I like the movie. They were trying to make a realistic version of Godzilla. So they didn't want to. They wanted to have a nod to it, but they didn't want to outright just do it. So that's why it's more. You can miss it if you don't pay attention to that.
Yeah.
But it's there, and that's why it's a mutated iguana. Okay, well, go with that a little bit.
Fun fact time, because I've got a couple of things left.
Yeah.
But I want to do fun fact time.
Okay.
Toho Studios, the studio that owns Godzilla, had a list of reasons why things that Godzilla could and could not do.
Okay.
Of that list, Godzilla cannot eat people, only fish.
Huh.
Huh.
That's why they're using the fish. Only fish. No more or less than 3 toes on his feet and 4 fingers on his hands. That's why you get the 3-toed.
Yeah, because iguanas have
Yep.
5. I forgot that too.
No more. He cannot be made to look silly. Boy, they fucked that one up.
Yep. Oh.
He cannot die in the movie.
Oh.
That's why they had the other egg hatch at the end.
Oh, and he should be able to run incredibly fast. And that it shouldn't resemble a dinosaur too closely. Now, this is important, because this is one of my last few... we'll do my little one, because I have 2 left. Big one, small one.
Yeah.
Small one. You ever notice how when Godzilla runs, the cars start jumping? But when the people are really close and he's running, they are just flat fucking footed. They're like, boom.
We're good.
I'm not. Now, if I could throw a car with my seismic activity, I could throw a human.
Yeah. It's definitely a reflection
Those
of
people
of
should
its
have been
time.
bouncing like fucking grapes
I
on
agree.
a trampoline.
Yeah. It's definitely a reflection of the time.
Yeah, the CGI cab. God, the CGI cab. But that's not a plot hole. That's just bad stuff.
I have a little tidbit of information.
I'm listening.
Toho actually gave Sony the rights to 3 Godzilla movies.
They take them back.
But
We've
as
already seen
soon
number
as this
2.
one came out, they took them back.
The point you just pointed out, those few points they had to follow, they disregarded almost all of them. They were like, no, you didn't.
They made a nod to this movie in the next Godzilla movie as well.
Well, that's cool.
In Godzilla 2000, I think it
Yeah,
was.
Bryan Cranston didn't suck.
Yeah, right. No, in Godzilla 2000, in the beginning of the movie, they're in Japan, and they said, "Oh, I heard Godzilla attacked New York in 1998," and the teacher said, "That's just what the Americans think happened."
That's actually really good. That's
Yeah,
smart.
it's a cute little nod.
Actually, I have one little tidbit from this. I think we can all agree on this. The gum trick does work, right?
I have chewed gum, and I've sounded American every time I've done it, so yeah.
Every single time. And the gumballs. You can't walk on those motherfuckers. Not the hard ones.
Oh, no, not the hard ones. They gotta be the hollow ones in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you want my big one?
Yeah, what do you
want
got?
my complete movie killer?
100% cock
Hank
and loaded.
Azaria, Matthew Broderick, and the blonde chick, I don't remember her name right now, should have died because it is clocked. Godzilla's speed is 170 miles per hour. 75 miles per hour.
Okay, I was gonna say, wow.
175 miles per hour. I'll repeat that one more time.
Wait, no, it is.
Is that in
100 on land, running 175 miles per hour. The average Caprice taxi cab can do a maximum of 120 miles per hour, meaning when they are driving a cab away from Godzilla, they are being crushed to death.
okay.
They all die, and therefore,
Yeah.
therefore that kills the rest of the movie, which thus changes most of that movie.
Oh, I agree. No.
But now, the thing is, and I only state this, he was able to attack the helicopters. Now, a helicopter can move a hell of a lot faster than a cab on a city street.
Yeah.
Couple 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. But taxi cab, a Caprice Classic, 120 max speed.
Wow. I'm blown away by the
Actually,
175
it does.
mile an
It
hour.
makes sense, and because we're visualizing it from a car perspective. If you look at his gait,
Yeah.
if he was to travel for a solid
If there
hour
wasn't
at his max
giant
speed,
buildings.
he would get 175 miles in. So it does make sense, but he would still catch the
Yeah.
car easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
He caught the helicopter. He snuck up on a helicopter.
Yeah.
He would have caught that cab. He would have ate that cab. Now, granted, he did eventually catch the cab because it's in his mouth. But
Yeah. You know, dentist work.
yeah.
Quick Google look. Apache's max speeds are 227 miles
Exactly.
per hour.
Couple hundred, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, by the way, this Godzilla was based off of the Galapagos iguana.
Yeah.
I found that out.
Marine
I thought
iguanas.
that was
Yeah. Because
that
I
was
looked it
pretty
up
cool.
when I was going through my stuff to check the biology. Because, yeah, if you accept that the radioactive fallout mutated his DNA enough to create what we saw in the movie, And the movie does try to cover its bases, like with Nick's original research at Chernobyl, with the worms getting 70% bigger than they were before. 17, if I said that. And they were trying to say, okay, well, you can mutate and do this. It's okay. I see what they were trying to do. They were trying to cover their bases, but it's a lot of, well, okay, maybe. Like I said, most radioactive, when you're exposed to radiation like that, you're dead.
Yeah.
Because it breaks down the cells. Sometimes you'll survive, sometimes you'll see the mutations. There's a lot of creatures at Chernobyl now, including plants, that have evolved to actually absorb, if not be resistant to the high levels of radiation that are still in the area.
Yep, they have adapted.
But they haven't, like, grown twice as big or, can breathe radioactive breath like that. But, no, I agree with you that even you put that stuff aside and you put aside the fact that why he traveled to New York City as opposed to, like, Tokyo. Yeah, the taxi at speed.
Yeah.
The movie.
He would have caught that taxi, would have ate that taxi, and your main character who could have stopped it would have died. Everybody who went to Madison Square Garden would have died.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So therefore, Madison Square Garden never would have been saved, and it would have gotten worse, not better.
Oh, yeah, it would have gotten a whole lot worse because those things were just growing quickly.
Yeah.
They've eaten all the fish.
But yeah, so I mean, honestly, I think that movie's dead twice over. So therefore,
oh yeah, it's definitely dead. Like we were saying before, it's a fun movie to watch. It was fun to see what they were trying to do, but it's a summer flick. You got to feel like, okay, I'm gonna turn off the logic a little bit here and just enjoy what they presented. And for the most part, it is pretty well together, and it does try to cover its bases, and it does try to put the steps in there that, okay, this would make sense under these circumstances. But there's a lot of reaching there.
I agree.
And that's probably why they were denied
Now,
their 2 sequels.
I've grown up. Now, ever since 5, 6 years old, I've been watching the old
Oh, you watched all the classics.
I've watched every single Godzilla movie ever made. Every single one. Since I was a little child, I've been obsessed with them.
Godzilla versus Space Godzilla?
It was fun.
I loved Godzilla versus Space Godzilla.
It's fun. I love Gigan. I love Ghidorah. I love
King Ghidorah?
King Ghidorah, the same Monster X. All 3 of those are the same monster.
See that
Which one?
In one take, a mechanical Godzilla bursts through the elevator door by mistake. That's...
Oh, shit. Renee Zellweger was supposed to be Audrey. Well,
a
that
lot
would
of
have been better.
people were supposed to be Audrey, motherfucker.
Oh, really?
Jennifer Connelly.
Wait, Dick Van Dyke as the mayor, possibly?
Ebert.
How would that? Can you imagine that?
Dave Foley. You may know him as Kids in the Hall.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Jennifer Connelly, and then so was Sarah Jessica Parker. This before she was married to Matthew Broderick.
And all the merchandise. Over 3,000 Godzilla products were made to promote this movie. I remember most of this crowd.
I had all 25 of the action figures, and I went to McDonald's like a madman to get me some stuff.
I mean, it was at the time. It was like.
Although I was also that kid who had to order Domino's when Casper came out to get the hand puppets made of rubber that glow in the dark.
Here's a little. Oh, stay right there. In 1983, when the movie War Games came out, which Matthew Broderick's, I think, is his first film. A teacher. It's not his first film.
No.
All right. Well, a teacher in the movie says, "Who first came up with the idea for asexual reproduction?" To which he says, "Your wife."
Yeah.
Oh, I bet his wife and mine have a lot in common.
I know a lot of people make fun of his acting in this movie, but I thought. I mean, it was written for him, and I thought it's fine.
He's
Another
a
interesting
Broadway
fact.
fucking actor, dude.
Here's the other interesting fact about this movie.
Oh yeah.
It's it has 2 regular Simpsons voice actors in it.
Yeah, Azaria and
Shearer.
Yeah.
Harry Shearer.
Yeah.
The news anchor and the cameraman.
Which
are both regular characters. Like Mo Sizlak is Hank Azaria.
Mm-hmm.
And
also
Harry
Apu.
Shearer is Ned Flanders.
Yeah.
He's also Apu.
I know Hank Azaria is Apu.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that because
Well,
everybody's so butthurt about Apu.
Yeah.
That's what I was pointing out there in case people didn't know. The
Seriously,
voice actors,
where are the
voice
nerds
actors.
upset about Dr. Frank?
Where's the justice?
Where is the justice?
Justice for Dr. Frank.
There isn't any.
And just in case you're a social justice warrior out there being annoying about Christmas music, I do want to bring this to your attention. Why are you so pissed off about an implied Christmas song when the Rolling Stones have a song like Under My Thumb? Like, I have not heard any bullshit about Under My Thumb by the Rolling Stones, but goddamn, they will attack my Christmas songs. Fucking motherfuckers. Yeah, I called you social justice warriors, motherfuckers. You don't like it, you better listen to every podcast to hear every time I call you a motherfucker, motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Motherfuckers.
You'll think this is Samuel L. Jackson's movie Killers.
So are we cocking our guns at this movie right now?
Oh no, this thing is like in pieces.
Well, I'm certainly not cocking my Apache.
But it's still, like I said, it's still a fun movie to watch. To see what they tried. It didn't succeed in exactly what they wanted to do, but it still did it pretty well for its time. I mean, this is when they were trying to really incorporate, CGI. So it's not the best, which is, I think, why they kept a lot of the rain kept going to try to cover it up a little more. And they did have some tension. They did have the threat level, and it was mainly actually Godzilla reproducing was the main threat, because when they realized, there's 200 eggs, and those things are going to be pregnant when they come out too. Crap.
Wow, babies having babies.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were pulling a point.
No, I am. In Sweden, this is the most popular and well-known Godzilla movie, whereas the original Japanese films are either unknown or hated.
Wow.
Goddamn Swedes.
But to be fair, as someone who never really watched the original Godzillas, and I did like this one.
I did watch the original.
I think that's actually a running thing, is that if you didn't watch the originals, you were like, yeah, this is a good movie.
Exactly.
It's enjoyable. And
I can see people who do that. And I can also see people who watch the originals and love the originals as I do, and why they don't like this movie. But this is my favorite movie, so I can, disagree. Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm calling this movie Deceased.
I prefer Taxidermy because it's still fun to watch and look at.
Yes.
But it's dead.
I like that.
It's dead, but it's...
Oh, by the way, in case you guys are worrying about the rain, they got the reason right here, too.
Tornado disrupting filming in Jersey City during filming.
May 6, 1997. Film crew managed to get some footage of the disaster filmed, though.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
So that explains your rain.
Now, I'm pretty sure we all watched the cartoon based off of this, right? At some point.
No.
Yeah, don't lie. You
I
did.
didn't.
You didn't watch it?
No. I used to watch the MIB one, but I never really watched it.
The last little egg.
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I just never really watched it because it was never my bag. I was too busy watching Batman the Animated Series.
I remember part of it. Yeah. I don't remember all of it, but I remember part of it. It was fun. But
it looked like it was written by the same guys who did MIB as far as art style goes.
Yeah, it's definitely the same team.
It was basically what you wanted to happen in this movie. Godzilla fighting other monsters.
Yeah.
It's only like the Godzilla liked Matthew Broderick. It looked up to Matthew Broderick.
Well, if you remember in the first episode when the last egg was hatching, he was right there, and some of the fluid got on him,
so
and
it imprinted.
It imprinted like, oh, you're my mommy, kind of thing, and it's like, sure, I'm your mommy. Holy crap, we're screwed.
Yep, and he keeps him alive the whole time.
Yeah, I kind of like it akin to El Blanco and Tremors 3, the sterile graboid.
Whoa, you leave him out of that.
I love El Blanco though.
Hold on, I'm looking for this cartoon you motherfuckers are talking about, so I know what you're... Oh, is that it?
No, that's...
Look up Godzilla, the animated series.
Ah, Mechagodzilla. When are they going to bring in Mechagodzilla? I want to see him.
That was probably going to plan to be one of the sequels.
There it is right there, 1974.
Oh, no, 98, TV series.
Yeah, the 98 TV series is what you motherfuckers
I know, but
about.
you were looking for Godzilla.
No, I'm looking for this. What you guys are talking about.
It only had one season, right?
I'm pretty sure only one season.
Two seasons.
2 seasons.
Oh, wow. That went on longer
it
than I
ran
remember.
from 98 to 2001. Well, I guess if you're going to call yourself Godzilla 2000. No, Godzilla the series. Why do I keep thinking Godzilla 2000?
Because this was close to 2000.
All right, so now we're going to do my favorite thing. I'm going to check out the trivia on this one.
We're going to try trivia on it?
I'm going to see if there's anything interesting.
This is from the show, though.
Yeah, this is from the cartoon series.
Oh, it didn't finish its second season because of Digi Pokemon.
Oh, because over Fox and Warner Brothers fighting over it. It dealt with the licensing of the toys. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Pokemon used better show. It was super effective.
Yep.
I like Digimon personally.
Yeah.
The first season at least was good. The second season was not too bad. Why it's so different from its spun-off? It's almost
because it was spun off from a different movie.
Yeah, they were trying to do more.
Thank God they didn't do Godzilla Jr. I hated that shit.
Oh, Godzuki from the older cartoon. Godzuki was so stupid. It's the comic relief type character.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand.
Yeah. There's very little trivia about that 1.5 season show.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, I'm calling it dead. Not only I'm gonna double check to make sure.
Well, actually, I
didn't miss anything.
How did you guys feel about this? Everything aside, how did you feel about the actual design of Godzilla in this movie? Honestly,
Dude, as I said, I think this is a T-Rex on fucking steroids.
This is where the fanboy of a Godzilla fan comes out of me.
Okay.
Godzilla has a specific look.
Okay.
This was not Godzilla.
You know what? It would be the fat guy who doesn't like muscular Godzilla.
Goddamn right.
Why are we fat shaming Godzilla back in 2000 and nobody
We're
cares?
not fat shaming him. He's too good looking. That's why. Right now, this is like.
Well, no, that was
this
the
Godzilla was
Americans
made in,
fat shaming Godzilla.
No, I know, but what's that fucking workout place? Planet Fitness, where you're not allowed to have too much fucking weights on because you might make.
No, you're not allowed to claim.
Yeah.
No,
That's
you're not allowed
the
to
rule.
you're not allowed to show off either. You can't put too much weights on at Planet Fitness.
What's too much weight?
Exactly. But no, if somebody feels insecure about themselves because you're fucking beefing it up, they can go and tell management, and you can get in trouble for it.
Do not go to that gym.
Steve, Blake.
Yes.
I don't think any of us have to worry about that problem.
We used to.
Stop being a social justice warrior.
We used to go.
Yeah, we used to go, but come on, don't be a social justice warrior, dude. You're fighting a cause that you're not a part of.
That's true. Shit.
Nobody's ever accusing you of lifting too much weight. I've accused you of lifting too many hamburgers.
I lift too much weight every time I stand up.
Yeah, and that's why we can't go back to Planet Fitness. Blake, I believe your gym is not Planet Fitness.
No, I was going to Anytime Fitness
Yeah.
for a while.
Plus, I don't see you lifting.
Anytime Fitness, give us free
You're not.
shit.
He's not a lifter. He's your cardio. You're the pizza parties.
No, when I was doing it, I got to a certain weight that I wanted to hit, and I was increasing the reps to improve.
I'm just
overall
telling you guys
strength,
right
not-
now, the
not
only thing these two guys are lifting at the gym are the Tootsie Rolls.
My dick.
They don't have good Tootsie Rolls there.
Planet Fitness does.
Do they?
And they have pizza every Friday.
Well, then we're going to Planet Fitness now.
They got and they're cheaper. But
$10
no,
a month.
Planet Fitness, please do not contact us. We don't want your stuff. Nintendo, yeah, send us free stuff.
Send us free shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my name is Steven.
His name is Steven.
I guess his name is Steven.
That's right, motherfucker.
Anyway, this is Tom.
That's
This is-
Tom.
This is Blake.
That's
And
Blake.
this is us signing off. Please like and join our Facebook page. And if you have any ideas of episodes you guys want to see, give us a yell.
Or if you want to
Especially-
argue us.
Especially odd stuff. Like
Oh,
an odd
and we
choice.
will be trying to appear at the Florida SuperCon in July in Miami. I believe July 4th, 2019.
The
We're trying to
weekend
get a
of July
panel.
4th, yeah.
If not, we will be there in person to, check out the con because nerds.
Yeah.
And if you can recognize us based on anything, good fucking luck.
I think I just heard someone say challenge accepted out there.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, we're not doing a wrestling movie.
No, that was my Macho Man. Oh, we are doing a wrestling movie.
Royal
next.
Rumble?
No.
Or no, Ready to Rumble. That's what it's called.
No, we're not doing Ready to Rumble.
Over the top. Over the top. Let's do over the top.
Arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling, baby. Over the top.
All right, you want to do over the top? I'll do it right now for you. Nobody would allow a legal decision to be solved by an arm wrestling competition. The end. Movie over. Guy loses kid.
Fuck.
We good?
I
Okay.
was pulling for him.
Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Movie killed.